Good afternoon and welcome everybody. Because it's so warm and hot in here, if you do feel, gentlemen, you want to move your jackets, please do, because we're going to be in here for about an hour, so I don't want people expiring in the heat. Anyway, welcome to the Lancaster Award Ceremony. It's a great delight to open the ceremony and to see so many of our students who've achieved the award. I'd also particularly like to welcome parents and friends who are joining in today's celebration. We've also got two very special guests, Sir Christian Bonnington and Professor Bill Payne, who are joining us today to give presentations and to present the awards. Sir Chris Bonnington, our University Chancellor, has been a strong supporter of the award from its inception 4 years ago. When we designed the award, we were aware of the importance our Chancellor places on our students being well-rounded individuals and gaining as much as they can from all the other activities that Lancaster University offers alongside their academic degrees. And so it's a particularly special day that we welcome Sir Chris to join us on. We're also delighted to welcome Professor Bill Payne, Vice President for Global CRM and Industries for Managed Business Process Services at IBM. Bill works closely with our faculties of Science and Technology and the Management School. And through his team, IBM have worked with individual students to increase their employability skills and wider experience. Bill has kindly provided support and links to assist in the development of several international research projects. We also maintain close links to IBM through our alumni who have gone on to work with this global brand and who maintain a strong link back to Lancaster, giving advice and support to current students. We're very grateful for Bill's contributions to the whole university community. Now, the Lancaster Award, as the students know, this covers 4 areas: employability and career development, campus, community and social activities, work experience, and developing a new skill. And we work with employers on the design of the scheme, ensuring that it reflects the skills that employers are seeking, and this has been essential to the success of the award. I'd also like to thank the employers who take part in the assessment process. The final assessment involves an interview with an employer and a member of Lancaster staff. And I know that this can be quite a hurdle for many of our students, as this is the first time that they've had a formal interview. We've received lots of positive comments from the students about the additional confidence that they've gained, the importance of the interview skills that they've learned, and the usefulness of the feedback. So I want to just summarize that in the words of one of our politics students who's gained the award. And they said, "The Lancaster Award has helped me develop my self-awareness and acknowledge my strengths. It has taught me how to put across my skills and abilities to prospective employers." She goes on to say, "I intend to pursue a career in American politics, which involves interpersonal skills, organizational skills, and pragmatic responses to situations using an effective decision-making process." And finishes by saying, "The Lancaster Award has helped me realize the valuable talents and skills I possess and the optimal way to portray my skills in a professional business setting." So that was in the words of one of our students about the award. Well, we're all delighted that the award has been so successful, with the numbers of students undertaking the award increasing every year. This year, we've got 1,000 new students enrolled on the award. The award has received national publicity and is well known for its achievements in enhancing student employability. So this afternoon, we're celebrating with almost 300 students who have successfully completed the award. So I'd now like to invite Sir Chris Bonnington to speak to you before he presents the awards. Thank you.
Well, once again, a very warm welcome on this absolutely lovely summer's day to you, the students, to the families, friends, university staff, all have been involved in different ways in actually achieving this day. And I must say, I've had the privilege of being here at all the 3 awards so far. And the first one started very modest. Second one, there seemed to be quite a few more people. And this time, well, the increase is huge, and I can see that next year maybe we're going to need the Great Hall to actually give the awards in, because it's become so popular, and I think for a very good reason too. I actually had the pleasure, privilege, fun of actually being with the University Hiking Club just on Sunday. They very kindly invite me each year to have a day with them, and I think there's at least one, maybe more, who are actually receiving the award today, who are out on Sunday, and we climbed Sharp Edge on Blencathra. It's a lovely kind of scramble to the top of Blencathra, and then a round of my kind of suggestion, which ends as all the best walks do at a pub. And then just the week before, this is all, of course, totally self-indulgent. I was with the University Climbing Club, and we had a great day's climbing. But I saw for myself just, how enjoyable all these extramural activities are. But I think much, much more important is that it's not just enjoyable, it's actually doing something that you love passionately doing and getting enjoyment from. But I think the nature of this award goes way beyond that, because yes, you have the extramural activities, which I think are a vital part of any university career, but also you have the kind of the social things that you do, the actual genuine help that you're actually giving in so many different ways to people, and then finally, of course, actually learning how to tell other people about it. And all of these things, as Amanda has said, are of huge value to you when you actually go and apply for a job. But to me, I think what's much more important is actually just having done it in the first instance. And I suppose in that respect, I've been lucky in the sense that I actually, right from the word go, managed to make my hobby also a career. And I discovered the joy of mountaineering from a very early stage, but couldn't possibly imagine being able to make a living as a climber when I left school. And that came later. But when I finally did actually manage to focus totally on mountaineering, it was actually finding the ways of actually, making a living out of it too. And I've had that, I think, the fortune of carrying on climbing, I think, as a hobby, and something I love passionately doing. And I think the really important thing in life, and I think this is what you are already discovering, is the importance of doing something that you really enjoy doing, which can be of value to you as well. If you can go the next step, which I did, of actually building a career around it, great. But that doesn't really matter, because I know a lot of great friends of mine whose passion has always been climbing, but they've done other jobs as well. In fact, one of the finest mountaineers in Britain today, a man called Mick Fowler, probably you've never heard of him, but he's one of the greatest climbers that Britain's produced as an all-round adventurous mountaineer. And he's a taxman. He works for the Inland Revenue, and he does that for 5 days a week. And then the weekends he goes climbing, and he's actually managed to persuade them now to give him 5 weeks holiday every summer. And he goes off for those 5 weeks, actually usually doing an unclimbed route somewhere in the Himalayas, and then he's persuaded them as well to give him an extra 2 weeks so he can actually do something with his family as well. So I think this is all in the right direction. I think as well as that passion, I think climbing can offer actually, I think, quite a good metaphor for life. To me, the interest, the excitement of climbing that's held me now for over 60 years is actually the business of looking at a problem. And for me, that problem, that challenge, is actually an unclimbed mountain or an unclimbed rock face here in the Lake District. And you gaze up at it and you think, God, that'd be terrific to climb. You then work out a way of actually doing it. And then you actually go and do it. And you use your experience, determination, and everything else to actually achieve it. And perhaps I think the biggest, the most exciting challenges you can have in life is when you face something, and I'm sure you all will do it in your lives in different kind of ways, where people say, it's impossible, you can't do it. Waste of time even trying it. And then, with a combination of your knowledge, experience, what you've done before, actually turning the impossible into something that's achievable. And you actually go and do it. And it is, in my case, well, climbing, it's a metaphor. But I think you can actually translate that metaphor into all the kind of things that you're dreaming of doing in your future lives, wherever they happen to go. I've abandoned actually all these notes, but I think Amanda said most of the things I was going to say. But I think that to me is the most important thing of the lot. I think that what I must do actually, though, before I actually have the great pleasure and honour of presenting you these certificates, is actually to acknowledge and thank some of the people who've made this possible, especially to Mandy Chetwynd, Professor Mandy Chetwynd, Pro-Vice Chancellor of College and Students' Experience. But Mandy has done a huge amount to make this possible. But there are many more as well. There's the members of the Lancaster Award Steering Group who tailor-made the award to fit so very, very well the needs of all of you. We're also indebted to the staff based with careers for their facilitation of the award. And without this hard work and commitment, the award, of course, wouldn't be the huge success that it is today. And the award is also a testament to the fact that large sections of the university have worked together to promote the award and support students in its completion. And I wish to thank also the Students' Union, the academic departments and the colleges, and in particular the continued efforts of the college administrators for all their hard work and commitment to the Lancaster Award. It's been a huge team effort. And then finally, and very, very importantly as well, the employers who volunteered to participate in the interview process, taking valuable time out of their very, very busy schedules to be able to come and meet the students. And many of these employers, of course, are themselves Lancaster graduates, and they've come back to share their knowledge and experience with the current university students, and I'm quite sure some of you will be doing exactly that as well sometime in the future. So finally, I'd like to warmly congratulate you on the journey that you've undertaken, that you've managed to squeeze into all the demands of getting the degree as well, and I'm quite sure, well, I'm sure all of you will be coming up, and I hope I'll be seeing you in a few weeks' time, actually at the graduation ceremony. And I hope you thoroughly enjoyed your time at the university, and also that this process you've been through will be of real value to you in the future, and will also give you a huge amount of pleasure as well. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Sir Chris. So now the students are going to come up and receive their certificates. And can I just say that we're going to present them in groups of about 10. So if we reserve our clapping till the end of each row, I think that'll work well. And can I also please remind the students, do bring your little name slip, because it's much easier for the person to read your name than when you whisper it and then they can't quite catch it properly. So please remember your name slip. Thank you.
For Bowland College, Marcus Loning. Emma Bakewell. Emma Bakewell. Nurjahan Booth. Laura Beth Cockram. Rebecca Davis. Zulia Gonzalez. Layla Madeline Emily Hendo. Lan Nguyen. Anish Sana. Alina Striha. Xiao Xiao Wang. Emma Louise Warburton. For Cartmel College, Adam Paul Aesthorpe. Eve Annabelle. Lauren Elizabeth Badley. Rebecca Louise Koza. Hannah Copen. Emma Earnshaw. Natalie Gourlay. Emily Gower Ballard. Stephanie Hadley. Chloe Fiona Hanmore. Zoe Elizabeth Haynes. Hannah Elizabeth Hughes. Holly Jessup. Amy Kay. Eleanor Lawrence. Jennifer Ann Lee. Glenn Martin. Marissa Heredia. Emily Jane Nichols. Dulcie May Parcell. Seetal Patel. Joel Gregory Pullen. Anbar Rashid. Sana Abid Razak. Danielle Reed. Emily Charlotte Ross. Freya Scarborough. Laura Isabel Shipley. Hannah Margaret Sibley. Rachel Laura Taylor. Devaki Thavaraja. Raven Levi Tolson. Lauren Elizabeth Venables. Hannah Louise Walton. Owen Mark Williams. For County College, Arnold Anisco. Suzanne Emily Burtonshaw. Laura Jenny Broadbent. Annie Charles. Shin Yin Chin. Bryony Kate Fisher. Liam Fitzpatrick. Remy Hines. Fiona Kate Jones. Nicola Lithgow. Chloe Jo Long. Lavina Masterson. Shanky Nee. Louise O'Brien. Thank you. Thanks. Martin Ian Risley. Hannah Elizabeth Roberts. Lauren Taylor. Jonah Tyndale. Laura Helen Warren. Lauren Jessica Whiteley. Natasha Bishikovsky. Francesca Williams. For Finesse College, Hannah Ruth Dengate. Shui Guo. Mark Harris. Robert Edward Lassie. Kate Elizabeth Law. Thank you. Amanda Mason. Zung Nguyen. Rebecca Ann Nobes. Ishimwe Lisa Pascale and Zazambi Wita. Emily Jade Pollitt. Emily Rayner. Arena Tarrant. Avirud Kaushik. Katie Walls. Shu Chao Wang. For Filed College, Nicola Francis Eilert. Yan Yu Chow. Rebecca Jane Christ. Alice Fitton. Vanessa Hansen. Serena Hashmat. Emma Heron. Abigail Hewitt. Catherine Louise Inwood. Hassan Jamshed. Eric Johnstone. Kirsten Carew. Killian Kofi. Mandy McCormack. Chloe Lynette Moorcroft. Naomi Obawale. Matthew Ronald Quayle. Laura Smith. Katie Elizabeth Trickett. Yik Long Zhang. Annalise Lauren Ula. Chun K. Wong. For Graduate College, Xiao Hu Gao. Dorcas Wangu.
For Grisdale College, Napur Agarwal. Anne-Marie Appleton. Christina Berry Moorcroft. Maria Callagher. Rebecca Histon. Laura Hyatt. Ji Zhao. Alexandra Mishana. Gareth Neto. Oluwamayowa Oganke. Jingwen Yang. Isabel Salas Wardman. Alexandra Sternfield Casanovas. Marisha Surrey. Jintaute Vitkuta. Natasha Vrakas. For Lonsdale College, Amy Bednell. Madison Page Broadbent. Nicola Louise Clark. Marsha Dowie. Stuart Douglas Grant. Eve Grimshaw. Claire Louise Hall. Lucy Hampson. Elliot Hakane. Nitin Faloria. Curtis Hickey. Antonia Howard Hilge. Philip Kembo. Georgina Mark Anton Akis. Jessica Fearon. Kimon McRulis. Jennifer Noel. Harmony Ojamahon. Moi Olawade. Kaylee Scattergood. Mahesh Shashandri. Victoria Webb. Paula Yaden. For Pendle College, Catherine Bateman. Sarah Borick. Gareth John Davison. Caroline Dick. Helena Fisher. Jade Hall. Gareth Harrison. Kate Sarah Doris Henderson. Rachel Howarth. Siobhan Latham. Catherine McNally. Chirag Mehta. Radhika Monga. Lawrence Pullen. Aisling Rafter. Joshua Walker. Sadie Whittam. Daniel Wilcock. May Wilson. Robin Wood. Shikun Yang. Wei Zhou. For Lonsdale College, Seetal Rupra. For Fylde College, Katie Place. Emma Corrie. For Bowling College, Tasneem Ali. For Fylde College, Hay Lay. For County College, Laura Graham. For Bowling College, Paul Peat. Pendle College, Charlotte Wright.
Thank you very much, Sir Chris. So I'd now like to invite Professor Bill Payne to give the keynote address.
Thank you. I'd just like, first of all, to get a bit of energy in the room, I'd like all of the people at the front to put their hands together and say thank you to all the people at the back for coming here today to support you. Thank you. Thank you. And then for those at the front, your first lesson in networking is to shake the hand of the person next to you and congratulate them. because that's what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life if you don't know them. Meeting people, right? So this is a huge privilege for me. I have to say thank you to the university for making me a professor. It is my passion, it is my part-time job. I do have a day job. So thank you to everyone who's made this award happen. And thank you to all of you who've taken part in it and collected your certificates, because clearly you think it's worthwhile. But that also means that there's a group of your colleagues think it isn't. They are wrong. You are right. Because nothing is more important than showing that it's not just the degree you have, it's your rounded ability that will take you forward in life. So who is this chap called Professor Payne standing on the stage in front of you? I did overhear a couple earlier saying, I hope this professor at the end isn't boring because we'll want our tea. So I'm going to try not to be. They didn't see me, so I think it's probably okay. So my passion is part of my give back. At my stage of my life, I've had a very international career. I've been blessed. I'll talk a little bit about that. I currently run a major piece of IBM's global services business. I have 50,000 people work in my organization, my bit. It's over $1 billion organization in 50-odd locations around the world. I've been blessed in many ways. I've had a very international global career. When I put up the map of all the places I've been on the planet, people at your age go, wow, we'd like a piece of that. People at my age go, I could do less of that now. However, I've been lucky and I've built a career, but I've come from a very different place. There's no doubt that Sir Chris and myself started receiving awards at your age. But it's a very different world that you live in to the world that we grew up in when we first started. But we all started in the same place. And I'm using the word start deliberately because this may feel like, for some of you, the end. You've got your award, you'll get your degree, what next? And I was having a discussion with people at the university this morning about how empty people feel at that point. And yet there's a series of doors just opening for you and you just can't see what's coming through them. So it's a fantastic time in your lives. Your careers will be very different because your careers will now be a series of jobs. It's not the world that I came through where people often stayed in the same company for 25, 30, 40 years. I've been with IBM 15 years and I'm regarded as a junior, even though I have a senior position. I haven't been there that long. You will all move jobs frequently, and that's fine. That is what the new world is all about. And my advice and guidance in careers is always around, if you're not happy, reappraise yourself and move on, because life is way too short to be unhappy, and work is a major part of your life. So my career's been some planning and a little luck, but you can't rely on luck. There is a very thin line between success and failure these days. And instead of 80-odd thousand graduates in the UK when I graduated in 1980, you don't just have the graduate pool in the UK to compete against anymore. You have millions from around the world who are graduating with the same degrees from universities in the same subjects. Your competition changed. As graduates, you're no longer competing just here in the UK. You're competing against an ever-increasing, ever-hungry, ever more ambitious talent pool. I know. I travel the world. I meet graduates from other countries who are sometimes, it's fair to say, more hungry than some of the graduates I meet here. They're hungry for work. They're hungry for experience. They're hungry for what you have. And we lose sight in this changing world of how much the world is changing. I would imagine most of the people in this room don't just have mobile phones. They have devices, right? They have smart devices. When we were growing up, our parents often didn't even have copper-wired line phones. We sit in this room today, there are 300 million Indian people with mobile phones, but no sanitation. We should think that they should have sanitation. They're very happy with their mobile phones. The proliferation of technology is changing the way we live, and it will fundamentally change your lives during your careers. And that thin veneer that you need to develop to make yourselves employable just started. The Lancaster Award is the start of that veneer, and I often explain this when I come here, that you will all have A-levels, you will all have a degree, you will have all done some things with your life, and it kind of makes you the same. You have to build that veneer that makes you different and interesting and passionate. So Chris talks about this. Whenever he stands up, you know there is passion behind him. He's lucky in the sense that he said his hobby became his profession, but he's passionate. Passion is important when you're building a career. So I want to give you some tips from my little black book for success in life and work and life, because the two intermingle, and it's really important that you acknowledge that life and work have a bearing. It's not just all about work. So the first thing about getting a job, many of you will have been through interviews, some of you will already have jobs, but one of the things to think about is the investment that the employer is about to make in you. And this is something that sounds highly commercial, but for example, when I'm interviewing a graduate, I'm making nearly a £3 million bet. Because should that person stay for 20 years and earn an average salary of £50,000, as a company we will have spent nearly £3 million in total of rolled up cost, education, training. Of course there's return on investment, we expect return from the graduate, but it's a big decision for us. So it's really important you see it in that sense, because it's a big decision for you as to whether you want to come and join a large company or even a small company. Whoever is taking you on is making an investment in you. And one of the things that we see with this ever-increasing pool of global talent, people understand that that's a major investment decision for us. So in terms of getting a job, think about what that two-way investment is. It's a two-way process. The second tip is accuracy. It is still shocking that nearly 75% of the CVs we receive have spelling mistakes, typos, and grammatical errors. And those CVs include a section on IT skills, where people claim they know how to use IT, where clearly they do not. You've just damaged your veneer, and you could be rejected. So this use of accuracy and thinking about what you do. I have some great examples of people who put things in their CVs that aren't really that accurate. Someone with a CV gap. Could you explain your CV gap? I was taking a rest because my cat died. Why did you leave the last job? I left because all the managers were unreasonable and idiots. Hobbies. I love painting my toenails in various colours. These are real, by the way. Email address. Yes, I have a thing about email addresses. When you move into the professional world, I know you all have really crazy, cool email addresses. I'm not going to say some of the ones. I have some great examples on here. They really don't look good when they hit the HR system. Right, so there's some areas here that as you think about what you do, it's accuracy and it's how you present yourselves. Right, you're moving into a professional world. You're moving away from sometimes the fun you had at university. It's really important. The next point is research. Research isn't hard these days. It used to be quite hard. You used to have to go get... How many people in the room know what microfiche is? Yes, it's the university staff at the front. Yes, there you go. Microfiche used to be the way you would go to a library. It used to be highly condensed information on slide-based acetate material. Now you press a button called Google. Right? And yet it's still astonishing the number of, I'm not going to say you, but some of your colleagues that turn up for interview without doing any research. They don't understand the company, they don't understand the job, they don't understand the people they're meeting. If I hear someone else say to me they don't understand how to get through an assessment centre, I'll probably shoot them because most of it's out on YouTube. Research is really important. It's really important as part of passion and understanding. It's really good for engagement. So it's really quite easy to Google me. It's quite easy to find out what I do. It's quite easy to find out that I run a customer service organisation, and I do have a bit of a rant about customer service. So it's quite easy to engage me if you know you're going to be interviewed by me. That's the same the world over. Humans engage with humans. That's why I asked you to shake hands. So this research is really important as you go forward. And then think about transparency, and it ties with research. There really aren't any secrets anymore in terms of where and how you get a job and the companies you apply to. We are not trying to trick you, and we never would. We are very clear about what we're looking for. We're very clear about what we think would make you work. We're very clear about how to get through the process. We're very clear what the process is. This is back to the research. It's really important. We still see people, many people apply without the right levels of grade, qualifications, and the passion that they need to bring to it. But there are no secrets to this. It's all available. My next key point is develop teammates. Throughout your life, you'll have met some fantastic people at school, at university. You will bump into people throughout your life. Your paths will cross in amazing ways that you can't possibly imagine sitting here. One of my old mentors, probably 15 years ago, gave me probably one of the best pieces of advice I ever got, was, Bill, as you rise up through management, always hire and work with people in your team that are better than you in some way. Make sure your teammates are better, and then use your teammates as complementary resource to help coach others coming through who maybe aren't better. It makes life easier when you're working in a team. Think of it, if you can each feed off each other and be better in some way. But think of your teammates. Team is important. Life isn't just about you as an individual. Working with people is critical. It comes back to the CV that the guy said he couldn't work with his boss. It tells you something. And then I'm going to move on finally towards work-life balance, because we all lose sight of that. I'm fortunate I'm here today because my team is running the global organization while I'm here having fun. I also encourage all of my team that work for me to take all their annual holiday. It is important, and as you grow through, some of you may already have children. No doubt many of you will get married and have more children. It is absolutely important that you spend time developing your family, working with your family and friends who've come here to support you. We lose sight in this digital age of family and friends. It is not good for your health or your health at work. Healthy people are generally way better performers at work than unhealthy people. And that isn't just physical health, it's mental health. And sometimes we get completely absorbed in this digital world in work and lose sight of some of the really important things around us. As far as we know, we are here but once. We should enjoy that. So work-life balance is important, and part of that is you will go through many changes in your life. So learning to adapt how you work that work-life balance is important. Be careful that you do not get dragged in to the endless cycle of long hours of work. It simply doesn't work. I absolutely emphasize setting the bar high. I absolutely emphasize to my team about hitting our results, but it has to be balanced. So our targets in life will move, but your skills, tools, and how you manage your risk will change. I'm sure that early in Sir Chris's life, his skills and tools were very different to mountaineering as it is today. That's exactly the way you will live your lives. Continually refresh. This is not the end of your education, this is the start of your education. If I don't learn something every day in life, then I've had a disappointing day. And I know by the time I get on the train to go back to London tonight, there'll be some phone messages and I'll be learning some things. So it's important that you continually refresh. And the other thing I'd say finally as well is understand finances. And what do I mean by that? Well, most of you will know that you will be coming out of here with some kind of debt, or someone may have paid that. Understand what that means long term. And for most of you at the front, you will probably want to fall over when this old-looking fella called Bill mentions the word pension. That sounds an awful, awful long way off, and there's a lot of life enjoyment. But the way the world is changing, I would encourage all of you to think about how you begin to invest in a small way early in that, because you will have to provide at some stage, by the time you get to my age, maybe to a large way, for your own upkeep. And it's money invested early tends to grow. So that is something worth thinking about. And then the mantra I would say throughout the rest of your life is, if you stick to basic principles, honesty, integrity, content. You all have a degree, you'll all develop content. But passion for life, passion for work. Be interested in the things you're doing, and you become interesting. You become much more employable when you're interested in work and life and interesting to the people around you. So, final point, final word on it. Once again, congratulations to you all. Thank you for taking the award. Thank you for going through it. encourage your colleagues who haven't, because as an employer, I can tell you it's absolutely critical. It gives you an advantage. It's not just about your degree. This shows that you're prepared to go the extra mile. It prepares you for the workplace. It prepares you for life. So thank you, everyone, for taking the award. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill, for that inspiring speech and for some useful tips and ideas for us all. So we're almost at the end of our ceremony. I'd like once again to thank Professor Bill Payne and Sir Chris Bonnington for joining our celebration today and for all their support of the Lancaster Award. So thank you both. And then Sir Chris mentioned many people who've helped with the award, so let me just say thank you to all of those people, but also particularly to the staff from Careers Service who've made today a very special occasion, and there's still a bit more of a special occasion because in a moment we're going to open the doorways to go outside and we've got some refreshments for you. So I just wanted to say congratulations to all the students who got the award today, and I think, are there going to be photographs? Or just informal photographs? Informal. So lots of opportunities now for informal photographs, but I suggest we get now out into the fresh air. So thank you all.